People who are continually pale and washed out and run down are often called keep you mentally alert. 2 out of 3 women more than your daily minimum iron requirement. Taking
look good.
I feel good. Thank God it's Friday.
Yeah, TGIF, everybody. Thank God it's Friday. And that's what they got for it. Welcome to IRM Media's Have No Sphere. We don't have a lot planned this evening. Kicking back, hanging out, sharing some good friends and family. Just Brian and say hello to everybody. Kicking off with the ladies. Well, lady, singular. This is Cami Knodel. You might recognize her from her channel here on YouTube, Aisling717.
Pretty good. It's really night in robe culture. Was enjoying the pre-show a lot. We're covered now. Time to start. Be here.
Thanks. Cat, and apparently we're an internet. I know the audio was because I don't have run such. I can't sacrifice, so I just make it. But hopefully it was just the audio there. Cut. Anyway, we're going to jump right over and say hello to Mr. Zachary Zabala. I recognize his channel here on YouTube. Good Times for All. Zach, how the hell are you?
Hey there. Doing pretty good. I found one. A fucoid.
Fucoid,
Fucoid. A fossilized cast or impression of algae of the order Fucalis. Okay, so that's a fucoid, but there's a Fucalis. An Fucales. Yeah, Fucacia. It's a type of algae. What do you get? Mix a fucoid, a rhino.
Eucufino.
I was looking for that for like 10 minutes before the show right there. I just found it right before we started. Doing good, doing good. How was your day?
It was all right. A half day for me.
I love them half days.
Hopefully, I was walking around trying to find some decent VSTs and hope distort
You
the
go to the
audio.
doctor and they'll give you some medicine for that. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, we
There's
got
another dude out there.
there is another dude. One more. One final dude. Walter Johnson, his YouTube channel, at Earthhead. Walter.
I am good. I am here. I'm doing Kratom. I thought I had something in my bag ready to go, and I'm out. I'm here. Claire's here. Leo's here. We are going to have a cat-filled evening, it looks like. Already on my keyboard, so any messages that come through, probably for them. I'll get to the chat, I promise. Just didn't realize I didn't have Kratom ready to. But yeah, it was a Friday, and kind of caught up on that sleep I didn't get. But all I did.
Nap.
Chat. Yeah, I'm here. I'm 2 more. Kratom. Or like 10 more. Give me a second.
I'm going to drop the link in the chat. They want to come hang out with folks there in chat.
Nice.
Fun is Austin. Robert Page. What's up, Robert Page?
On.
Jonathan from
There's something real.
You.
What I was talking about this morning, the Mantis shrimp. Now that was the other one. This is that's a zebra mantis, and I think the other one's called a butterfly mantis because of the colors, but this one's a zebra mantis. A little bit different. This has these clubs on it right here. And the club actually is faster than the spear. It's got like this locking mechanism in their arms. And it's the fastest moving animal on Earth. That little thing right there, that club, moves faster than a .22 bullet. But watch this electricity that it makes on the show. Well, here, let me back it up just a second. I'm going to point to where I want you to watch. These things are amazing. I've been watching lots of videos on them. And the club isn't even the most amazing part of them, which is hard to believe. But, okay, so there's its club. When the club comes to hit on the shell right here, it's going to create this cavity of air. It moves so fast that it boils the water in that area real fast, and then it creates, sometimes it'll make a spark, like the star in a jar kind of. But it'll create a bubble of air right there that the water all evaporates and then crashes down in on it. And then right over here, you can see my mouse, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, then right over here, a little bit after it, you're going to see the piezoelectricity of this shell, crystallized shell right here. It's going to travel through it, and you're going to see it light up over here with electricity well after the strike. Now, this is super duper slow motion, just so you could see it. But yeah, they weren't even aware of this cavity right here until I think 2017, maybe 2018. So they're just learning about a lot about these, and their eyes are the most advanced eyes in the animal kingdom. Each eye
Found.
that we know of, yeah. Each eye has 3 pupils in it. They can see depth perception from 2 different directions, and their eyes are like moving in all different directions. It's wild. Yeah, it's a neat animal. But yeah, check this out. Bam. Well after the strike, right around in here. Oop. See it?
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Right there.
is that not crazy? Gonna light up.
There you go. Your eyes, along with having the three type of
You could see
perception
the
they have.
electricity being sent through there. Sorry, Camera Joe.
Oh, that was okay. Along with that, they incredible bandwidth in ultraviolet kinds of violet. Ours is like
Look at their eyes.
light and the angle of polarization.
They're beautiful. Yeah, there you go. There's a picture of their eyes right there. Got the three pupils and the one in the center. These are all like super sensitive. This feeds into the infrared, I think, or no, mid-band color and circular polarization. Yeah, they can see in circular polarization. We think. I don't think they have any kind of idea. But yeah, the two different pupils can see, you know, like we have the two pupils, so we can see depth. You know, we can tell how far away certain things are somewhat. They can do that with each eye, and they go off in all different directions. It's, yeah, neat animal. I've been watching people that keep them as pets. They've got all kinds of crazy appendages. I forget how many, like 30 something altogether.
I think you should warn your people that the people that keep them as pets all got very strange. And they tend to introduce the feed as their little friends. Like, yeah, this is your little friend. Don't you want to play with your little friend? And but yeah,
this other one has a spear. Look at that. It doesn't move as fast. It's still really, really fast, but it doesn't club. It does, it like reaches out and grabs stuff with those. There's some wild, crazy stuff down in the ocean. You asked me why I'm scared to go into the ocean. Mantis shrimp. You know, I've only seen one video where someone caught one and pulled it into their boat, and it went through their wetsuit and had their foot bleeding. Yeah, they pack a punch. The old mantis shrimp.
now they're saying in chat that it sounds like only Zack's audio is. Seems like only Zack's audio is working right. Y'all want to give us some feedback?
I mean, he is the only one talking.
That does do it.
I do.
Audio, testicle. I'm trying to see. Is it me? I was far from my mic trying to talk to y'all. I'm back now up here with it.
You sound all right to me.
Yeah, I'm back.
You all guys sound all right to me.
You guys were all cutting in and out a lot for me earlier, so I turned off my camera. Then I turned it back on. We went on the Mantis thing, but I wanted to say hi to Zulu one in the chat and say it was good to see him because I remembered I was wearing a shirt that he gave me, Aisling 717 in the fire department and 33 on it. So thank you, Zulu one. It's fun stuff.
I don't know what shirt I'm wearing.
No.
Oh, I love this shirt. This is one of my favorites. If you think we live on a globe, well, bless your heart. If you don't get that, it's a Southern thing. Southern lady thing. Didn't find that out till after my grandma passed, but I would have definitely called her out on that because she used to tell me, bless your heart all the time. All the time. When I'd be telling her about space. Oh, darling, bless your heart.
Damn it.
She was telling me, "Oh, darling, you little retard." You doing all right over there, Josh?
Oh yeah, just trying to sort stuff out, I reckon.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Oh, what else cool do we talk about this week?
It's a real good question.
Oh, what magnetic field thing do you go to, Cami? Electromagnetic field. Cami? Where did she go?
Real good question.
I'm right here. I was just talking in chat. When I talked in chat, it closed up my Zoom screen, and I was muted on my Zoom screen. So, on space weather, you guys told me the magnetics were out. Walt, what were the indexes at, or what were they looking at? I knew we were feeling really cruddy yesterday, but
Well, that's what I was saying. Would you bring them up? The one that you
sure.
always bring up?
Certainly.
I couldn't find it on my computer. I wasn't sure what site it was.
It's called spaceweather.com, and I can bring it up and try to share it, or you can do it there. But I looked at it this morning. They were a little bit erratic, but I had a feeling they were more out yesterday. It seems to be settling in right now. So let's see what's happened since this afternoon.
Yeah, supposedly a really big flare went off. Now those
Yeah, I
things
lost my
I
mute
can.
too as well. Sorry, everybody. But yeah, there was supposed to have been a big storm coming for Thursday. A story I put in late Wednesday said, but Josh said they had checked the magnetics on their job site that day, Thursday, and everything looked not just nominal, but like bizarrely normal, strangely. And then me looking, something this morning showed like back on was it the 13th that had the crazy day with all the red on it? I don't know. I'll have to go pull it up too. Give me a second.
Okay, our scale is actually expended now. It's
So that would have
actually
been like
getting
Monday. It would have been bad.
Right.
It would have.
Yeah, we've got an impulse going on here, two going on, and I show right now, like in the few hours right now, they're extending up the scale. So that's telling me that we're actually expecting a lot, and I'll see if I can figure out how to share what I'm looking at. Because I am on a laptop. I'm hoping that Liz, I'm on a microphone. How does it sound? In actual, I'm not on wireless, but I'm on a physical microphone. Let's share. And do you see what I have up right now?
I see it.
Okay, this is the ACE. This is the magnetic scale going on right now. And you'll see it looks fairly tight up here, right? It looks pretty close in. And if you looked at it this morning, it looked like it was more out of, all over the place. The difference between now and this morning is this morning the scale only extended out to 6. So it was showing like this wiggly lines between 0 and 6. Notice that they've got the scale extended to 20 on either side. That means, yeah. And then look down at the theta and how it's going and topping off the charts. And then the theta chart was extended this morning way up. And so I really need to study that more. I've looked more at the BZ, but that was really going all over the place unusually this morning. And they bring that one in, but it's not only watching what these charts are doing, but watch what they're doing on the scales. Let's see if the other one is also, we are at spaceweather.com. And solar wind 311 kilometers a second, and density, this is not overly dense or anything really going on there. That's really mild. Sea flares is really mild.
What's that green one there at the bottom near the left? How it like plateaus over there.
Where are you?
Do you see that normal? Back on the one where you had all the colored
here,
lines.
I'm gonna look at that same scale on a different. In other words, this is where I was looking at. Is I was looking at what they list as the interplanetary magnetic field. And I would call this, I mean, they're saying it's where they're calling the difference between Earth and space, the magnetic field, the edge of the magnetic field, the boundary between the magnetic field and what they would call the sun's magnetic field or space magnetic. So the interplanetary magnetic field, I know that we're comfortable with it sitting where it is, like in the north, and when it goes extends far to the south, we tend to get uneasy. We looked at it on the ACE. We're going to look at it at the Discover, and this one you can go back a little bit. And they have changed out their format for me on it. Isn't that nice on the real time? Though actually, I'm going to like this one when I get used to it. And they've got their scale way extended out to 60. So with what they're picking up and jumping on, that's again, some days you'll see that 0 to 5, 0 to 6, 0 to 10, and seeing this out all the way to 60. And
I wish I knew what I was looking at, why it was split in some spots.
I don't know what you mean about this, but these are like spikes.
Like, look at the end of the red one, how it's a big pyramid, and then go down to the orange at the bottom, and some of them are skinny pyramids, and some of them are big, wide.
You're measuring different things. This is
well, I know, like that's what I'm saying. I wish I knew what that meant.
Okay. That's fair enough. They give you on the directionals the density of it in the different charts. So they'll give you, again, the speed. They'll give you a lot of, temperature and information to the side of it. And people say space weather is very complicated. So as far as knowing exactly what it means, even talking to Mr. Danny Faulkner, he says it's complicated to me. I looked at it. It had me fascinated for over 20 years, trying to correlate it with earthquakes and that. But part of my fascination with it is I couldn't figure it out. I mean, I am like that. I can't figure it out. And you want to learn more on things that don't gel with you. You're trying to learn more to really understand it. I still don't really understand it, but I can tell you the numbers and the way it correlates. A lot of it seems to fall in place on a flat Earth, just again where the boundary would be, how these numbers would take place in ways that make no sense to me at all in a spinning universe type of model.
Yeah, that one guy that claimed he worked for NASA that David was talking to, never said his name or anything like that, and then kind of just disappeared off the map out of nowhere. He was saying that even they don't understand what's going on up there.
Right, they're just collecting data. And so you look at the anomalies and the different things. So people try to, when you're saying, I wish I knew what it all meant, I think everybody does, but we're collecting a lot of data and a lot of grids and taking a lot of measurements. And you have, again, people taking them from all across the realm and different scientists. So again, they want the data. For certain people definitely know what to do with the data, and we collect the data. But when you interpret it onto a globe Earth, you're right, nobody can make any sense of it. It's a giant mystery, and it's something that I think as Flat Earth, as we get more scientists into Flat Earth, taking somebody with the data knowledge and applying it, I think a lot of our answers will really come to fruition easier than we can imagine. This is your aurora forecast, which I love because, again, remember your auroras. And giving it, even though they're weak today, they're not centering upon what you would call the North Pole, but they're centering around Thule, Greenland. I know it winds up Thule because I used to take rulers and put it on my screen and actually measure where center would be on these things in different times of the day and different things, and it tends to go right in this area. Yeah. Right now, this is telling you that there is really low probability of a aurora right now. You're not going to see crap.
Weren't we trying to buy Greenland there for?
We were. We wanted Trump more than a second. Trump was insisting on not only buying, on Greenland, but he specifically wanted the area around. He wanted all of Greenland, but he wanted to own the space where we do have where it all centers around is Thule Air Force Base. So we do have it is U.S. government property or we have a military base there, but I don't think we own the property. And they basically, Trump wanted to. He made a while back when he was in definitely a giant move to acquire Greenland.
Yeah, that's weird. And then
So
what's his name? Trudeau was talking about his grandfather and some secret society ritual that was up there, and he was dressed like Santa Claus and yada 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 up at the Air Force Base when he was a child, supposedly. Yeah, because top secret Air Force or military bases always allow children to just come hang out and play. Just weird stuff. Did you see what the Catholic Church did?
Where they all came out and trying to make sure that abortion is legalized? That one?
No, there was something else they did.
Weird.
But yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of religious leaders and men of the cloth came to try to overturn. It might have even be just a Missouri thing, but they were trying to say that they wanted, I don't know, abortion, I don't know, up to including 9 months, maybe even after, I don't know. But, yeah, the legislation was trying to say we need to protect everybody. And the clergy was saying, no, we don't need to protect those unborn babies yet. So,
wow.
Well, not for nothing, but I think a lot of those religious leaders had small hats. Which was interesting, I think.
Yeah.
If the 9-month-old baby in the uterus isn't life and isn't worth trying to save or protect, then how do you counsel a woman who miscarries at 9 months? What do you say? Man, get over it. You'll be all right. Wasn't even a baby. Wasn't even live. Didn't take its first breath because according to our religion, it's not life until it draws its first breath. So you're fine.
Yeah, they're going to lose a lot of people with that one, I think. I think they're going to lose. I mean, the Catholic Church has already been just shedding numbers for decades now. And that one's going to, because, I mean, my mom left in the late 70s. When she was growing up and, going to school, eating red meat on Friday was a sin, like hell-worthy trespass. That's what she was taught by the Catholic Church. What happened to that? Just all these little things, and then their whole stance on marriage and this and that, and yeah, they've definitely been changing a lot.
This is how you wind up with things like Christmas for a holiday. You know what? We can backpedal on some stuff. We don't need to maintain strict religious adherence, do we? I mean, that's what Jesus is for, right? So you don't have to necessarily follow the God's law, because you will never be able to live up to that. We needed someone to act as an intermediary to make sure that we could actually cross that rainbow bridge. Because just following the laws will never do it. We're only humans after all. So we can just soft sell some homosexuality there in the church. It's fine if you want to be a witness at somebody's marriage, or just do whatever you want. It's fine. God doesn't really care, apparently.
Yeah. But the Vatican confirms ban on Catholics becoming Freemasons. Now, are you grandfathered in if you're already a Freemason? Do you still get to be a Catholic?
It's a good question.
Now, this happened once before, according to his story, right? 13 something, I think. 14th century.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. The Pope and the King of France, I believe. King of France, maybe. I don't think it was King of England. King of France had declared being a Knights Templar, not a Mason. These were the Knights Templars at the time, I believe. That was like against the law, and they went around and actually killed a bunch of them all at the same time. They did one like kill one this day, one that day, one this day, and that day happened to be on a Friday, the 13th. And according to his story, that's where that whole Friday the 13th comes from. Was that day when the church and the state got together, or the church and I guess not the state, the
crown
got together and did away with a certain secret society.
Well, that was the attempt, and that was why they tried to do it all at once, all on that one day, so that they couldn't go underground and turn that society into a secret society, which is sort of how the Knights Templar came to rise with their power, because they started as a secret society. Then as they grew with riches and treasures and fame and power, they became less and less secret, to the point that they needed to be handled. So to keep it from going underground and trying to take it back into the secret society, I guess, type of situations, they just decided to kill everybody at once all in one day, so nobody could figure out what was what and take that information and go and hide and come back later. Doesn't look like it worked, and the Knights Templars became the Freemasons, as I recall the story going. And that was just after that Friday the 13th. They did go underground and tried to keep their heads down and stay quiet for a little bit, and when they did reemerge, they reemerged as the Freemasons.
Now, as far as this story goes, Zach, this story, they're confirming a ban. It's not a new ban. It's always been there. Catholics have not. I mean, I know even as a child, my father was not allowed to be in Freemasonry. It's always, talked about that you're not allowed to be if you were Catholic or Freemason. They had their own little Knights of Columbus thing, and their own little side thing, but they always said it conflicted with doctrine, and this is what this is pointing out, or it's what they're just restating again. But this isn't a new ban. Nothing has changed at all. They're just saying that
was November 13th. That was a Friday the 13th, wasn't it? Didn't we just have one?
I think we did. So maybe they just decided as a fun
November
thing.
the 13th.
Yeah, today's November the 17th, so the 13th would not be also a Friday.
No.
But this isn't again, it's reissuing something, but it's nothing new at all. They're just putting it in a letter. Oh, it's still, you can't do it. We're continuing it. So.
Okay, so you can't be a Freemason, but the same office said last week that transgender people can be baptized.
Correct.
Serve as godparents and act as witnesses at Catholic weddings.
It's fine.
No big deal.
Strict adherence is for suckers. You know how you go broke? Strict adherence to God's law.
Wow. So according to Catholics, those in Masonic associations are in a state of grave sin. Wow. And may not receive Holy Communion. There's 6 million members around.
That was 1983, by the way, and at that point, that was also just a reissue of it, because I can tell you in the 60s and 70s, it's always been you're not allowed. And I don't know, every few years, they reissue statements. But
isn't that like saying though that
transgenders,
premarital sex?
Weird.
Isn't premarital sex not allowed too? But
correct,
like
and
a lot of those Catholic
transgender
priests
and all of that
don't
would
care.
be against doctrine too, I would guess too. So it's a pick and choose type of thing. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. And
Freemasonry is bad, but the buggering of young boys seems to be okay.
So it would seem.
Allegedly.
And that's what strict adherence to anything gets you.
I would almost I'm not heavy into Catholic doctrine or anything else, but I would almost think with the Catholic Church, the reason it would conflict with doctrine is how I think in Freemason, you're taught to think for yourselves or whatever. And the Catholic Church was always taught that you have to leave interpretation up to the priests. And there's this step in between, losing the power of it. Now, I don't know if little boys and things like that challenged their power struggle as much, thinking about it. Hard to say. That's a really warped, sad view, but
well, I wonder if this is based on some sort of a deeper knowledge and understanding of what is Freemasonry. Because if all the advanced Freemasons are running around saying, "Yay, we worship Lucifer! Yay, Lucifer!" then that might be sort of antithetical to the Catholic doctrine. But those first 4 degrees may not necessarily.
Wait, you mean the architect of the universe? What are you saying, Josh?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what kind of nonsense it's. As soon as you try to get a story out of one of those Freemasons, they just up and disappear.
Disappear.
Well,
Yeah, somebody came in on our
one...
Chad video and started comment line here with me recently. He was in touch with Chad, and same thing. He just disappeared with him too. So, well, apparently one of their things is to warn, and that's kind of what Chad seemed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of their duty, whatever that means. I said duty.
Duty.
Didn't he? Wasn't he saying how he was working on getting out of it and everything like that?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, if you want to work on getting out of it, that's how you do it. Just start sharing secrets. You get out real quick.
So this one kind of makes me laugh. Screen 2. This is an exclusive, but I've never heard of this one yet. Did you find this one, Walter? By the debrief?
Oh, the quantum thing? Yeah,
Yeah, I've never seen that before. The debrief.org.
Yeah.
The impossible quantum drive that defies known laws of physics was just launched into space.
Like you do with things that
Right.
defy every law. No,
Yeah, we're just gonna send it up.
fuck it. Let's throw it up there and see what happens.
Yeah, we can make another one, I'm sure. It won't be like the 60s technology that we just can't seem to build back for some reason. A controversial. Let's blow this up a little bit for my old eyes. New electric propulsion system, which physicists say defies Newton's laws of motion, was launched into space this weekend aboard a SpaceX rocket. Wonder where it's going. Protect, blah, blah, blah. Okay, the quantum drive took flight Saturday morning aboard SpaceX's Transporter 9 mission. This flight included over 80 separate payloads destined for low Earth orbit.
That's the stupidest destination ever. I mean, I can understand if you're going somewhere, but that's just sort of like a general location. We're going to go up to low Earth orbit. That's as far as we need to go. That's good enough. Why? What's up there? Nothing. We're just going to low Earth orbit.
Oh, gathering data in low Earth orbit for several weeks to set a baseline for when the drives are engaged. So the drives aren't engaged yet.
And
they're just getting a baseline of their orbit.
And that's different than the 80 different payloads they send up there on it. They sent 80 different payloads, plus they want to get all these baseline readings. Is that what I'm understanding? Geez, that's a lot of business up there.
Okay. So what they're doing, working closely together to collect a solid baseline of orbital data before firing up the drives for the first time. This will help to substantiate the thrust results of the quantum drives themselves. Yeah, that's a cool story, bro. Okay, made positive contact with the satellite, blah, 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 blah. How far is this thing supposed to go? We began playing around with the idea of what is gravity and what is inertia. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Okay, where are you going? What are you doing? The team also recently completed a successful 1,000-hour stress test, which quantum drive passed with flying colors.
While the science
Testing.
said it shouldn't work, his IVO's drive seemed to produce the predicted amount of thrust in lab tests. Whew. Considering you've got no, well, baseline reading, you've got no known laws of physics with which to predict shit, how are you predicting this amount of thrust if it's operating on no known laws of physics? What were you using to predict?
Oh, but they put it in a they put a prototype in a simulated space environment. Because yeah, we've come even close to the the atmosphere of space.
Right, the near
10 to the
infinite
negative
vacuum.
17 tour. I think we can create 10 to the negative 7 or something like that. And that's with 8-foot thick concrete walls with reinforced steel beams and rebarb all throughout them so they don't collapse in on themselves. But you created what was it? A simulated space environment. Yeah. And got thrust.
We got to the point where our third-party inspectors said, at this point, there's nothing we can do to debug what you're doing. It's just got to go to space. It's really got to go to space.
That's the only way it's going to work is after we tell you it's in space. Then it's going to move all the way. It's going to get to Jupiter in like 2 seconds. You watch. No, they can't lie that big.
Can of air duster.
I don't know of any other purely electric drives ever tested in space. Yeah, because it wouldn't work, moron. Electric drives.
Boogie, woogie, woogie. And what makes an electric drive quantum?
Nothing at all.
That was their PR guy.
I bet it's ionic thrust they're trying to use, which wouldn't work if you don't have some kind of electric field. You need an electric field for ionic thrust to work. And without an atmosphere for the electric field to kind of, swim in, be in, like in golf, then you don't have ionic thrust. It just doesn't work that way. This is retarded. This is beyond retarded. Just stick to the stupid, we take the gas up there with us, the oxygen and the propellant, and we spray them together and it creates this explosion behind us. And that moves us forward. That at least people could somewhat buy, but anybody who knows anything about it, how electricity works would say, yeah, this isn't going to work.
Speaking of which, Zach, you just flashed me back to the space weather, and one of the things on there that you wish that you would understand more of, you actually taught me a lot about the wind speed that we were talking about in the top left-hand corner of the page and density. That was the ionic wind they were measuring. And before I didn't realize it would have a pressure force to it or feel like wind. I don't know how they're doing that in the vacuum of space, but they are supposedly measuring the ionic wind.
Ionic wind.
Ionic
which is
wind.
something
You
you would
taught me
also
about.
need an electric field to have.
Yes, and they have it at the boundary of our magnetic, yes. Our electromagnetic field, yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Quantum. Just throw quantum in front of it. It'll be fine. Sounds cool. Who you got there, Walter? Is that Spot?
It's Bender.
Bender.
Hey, buddy. Tell him hey.
Bender.
Tell him
What are you
hey.
saying?
Tell him hey. Tell him
I
hey.
bet,
He did
I-
say it, but y'all can hardly hear him.
I bet him and Hank would get along.
Oh,
Hank
yeah.
loved cats.
He's a good boy.
Have you ever been around a dog before?
Yeah, Gary's dog.
Yeah. Yeah, Hank loves
He
cats.
muted me. Yeah, he came over to the door with it. And I was like, oh, wait, let me see. And then he kind of walked up and sniffed. And yeah, they just checked each other out and then walked away. Nothing.
Yeah, Hank used to, man, like the kittens. One of the cats had kittens while Hank was there, and he was always down in my room, and those kittens like grew up on Hank, you know. And the mom would come and groom him and stuff like that, and he would groom her. And then one night, he and one of the kittens, that the only one we couldn't get rid of, so we kept her too. I called her Three. I just gave him a number that time. She was Three, so I kept calling her Three. She they would run up and down the stairs together, you know, chasing each other up and down the stairs, playing. And one night they tumbled or something and she got hurt, broke her tail, broke her like paw, ankle and stuff, got all swollen. Nothing you can really do, you
Oh,
know.
damn.
But yeah, she got better eventually. But after that, the mama would not let Hank anywhere near her or Three at all. Like nowhere near. I felt so bad because I was like, I didn't do nothing. Yeah, he's a good boy. He was good with cats.
Right? What you see?
He's good with other dogs too. He's had lots of buddies over the years.
Oh, tuna bread.
Min's getting better with Buster, the neighbor dog.
Yeah.
He still gets kind of, you know, because Buster's big boy. Buster's like two Hanks. So Min is still not quite sure, you know. He comes running up, he's shaped like a sausage. He's, you know, he's not just a big boy, he's also a big boy. He's had a couple extra treats every now and then, we'll say. Yeah, he's a good boy though. I love Buster.
Wait, what is Suki? Bender is so Suki, Liz said. I don't know that one.
Silky? Suki. I don't know what Suki is. Not sure.
Maybe she was trying to write Silky.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it was one of them days.
The I and the L are right there by the O, so maybe that's what she was trying to write. Or it may be colloquial that I don't know. Snuggly? Yeah, he is very snuggly. He very much is. He runs right up under my chin and just buries in. And that doesn't make me sleepy at all. Yeah, Piney, we see that. We know who's confirmed now. 33, man.
That's what happens when you talk about the Freemasons.
Oh, no, yeah, he heard. He came running.
I'm on the ship.
Now I know. I'll probably forget, but I'll try to remember, Liz. Thank you.
Just as a heads up, I did drop a link if anybody wants to hop in and say hi. Should be pinned there at the top.
Oh, nice.
What show did we play, or what song did we play earlier by Chief Crow?
Television?
No.
Was it Mask of the Beast?
Was that it?
Mask of the Beast.
I think so.
Mask of the Beast.
I see you, Kevin. I can't type right now because Bender's laying right across my keyboard. So, but I see you, brother. What's up? And you, Captain Caveman. I saw you pop in. I just haven't been able to access the keyboard with the extra appendage across it. What's up? I see you, Giant Keeley. I can scroll. That's the only thing I can do from where I'm sitting. I think that's the only people that have popped in since last I typed. CJ, what's up? And yeah, there's Travis when I last said hey.
What do you guys think about doing a break and listening to a song?
Yeah, I mean, I'm down if Josh can make that work on his end.
I can share it and just play it.
What are you sharing?
Chief Crow. So I don't think there should be any issue with issues. I know we need more flat earth performers that we could promote without getting copyright strikes. Whoa.
Well, unfortunately, if any of them are really trying to make it work for themselves, they pretty much have to copyright their music, like Alex.
know.
You know,
I
so
know.
it's
You
it's
have
tough.
to.
It's not them that want your channel to get
Yeah.
issues. It's just part of the business. You know, keeping things contained as much as possible in this day and age of just steal it like you want to. I never had a LimeWire audio galaxy. I don't know what you're talking about.
I got another Chief Crow CD here, but I don't even have a CD player. Like, this computer doesn't do that. It's not designed for anything like that. Jaren is very computer specific. Uh-oh. I got it. Oh.
You got it? Cool.
Yeah, I got it. I was just making sure. Are you ready, Josh? Can I do this? I see you over there. Like,
Yeah, we'll
I
give it a
don't know.
shot. Why not? I threw a phaser
Okay.
on it. We'll see if it actually does anything.
Alrighty. Well, this is Chief Crow Airship. Chief Crow and the Flat Earthworms. I love this one.
And we will be right back. Just gonna take a little break, reorient ourselves, get in a good headspace.
Over there.
Chief Crow and the Flat Earth Worms. It's good stuff right there.
Yeah, that one gets me going. I love that song. It's cool. It's like having music again that I don't feel like I'm being,
Manipulated.
worship Satan. It's nice. It's refreshing. I go back and listen to all these songs from when I was younger, songs that I love, and I actually pay attention to what the words are saying. And it's like, what the fuck? I was singing this. I was actually saying these words in this order. What the fuck?
Like classic hair metal, country music. Just, I've noticed a lot of things making a lot of weird references to underage kids.
Yeah.
I was listening to, what was it, Dwight Yoakam. He's been around forever. He's even an actor, done quite a bit of acting in his day. But he had a song called, I think, Little Sister.
I like the way you talk.
He is such an underrated actor. I mean, he's the, pardon.
He was phenomenal in that movie.
He's phenomenal in almost everything he does, because
And some of the other ones have been pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's why he's one of those that, I don't know. Something weird about him. I had a run-in with one of his relatives once upon a time, too, who didn't care for me. Coming from the big city out to the country. I guess he thought I was just some smooth-talking city slicker. Just had some weird issue with me. Simon.
You city slicker.
Simon was his name. And was like a distant nephew or some shit.
Were you the Josh we know today?
In a lot of ways, yes. I was a little more anti-religious at the time, and I think was really one of the main sticking points. I used to find Bibles in my desk and my stuff all the time. The kids trying to get me to find God.
Tickler.
But anyways, Dwight Yoakam had a song called Little Sister. And the whole basis of the song was, look, I was just dating your big sister and she fucked around and ran off with some other guy, so I'm going to take a shot at you, little sister. Just don't do what your big sister done. Just, I don't know, threw me off. There's so many references to kids and young kids and just weird shit going on there. That at the time,
Please. Yeah, it's another weird band. A lot of references towards stalking and crazy weird stuff. Yeah, Sting. Ugh. Like when I think of the word creep, I see the guy from Radiohead, and then Ache or Sting. Just because I love that song, Creep. What were we watching, Cami? And somebody was singing that song. What was that? Was that morning show? Cammy's gone.
I don't know. She may be.
I hear her walking around. You get called out. She wasn't there. Yeah, I think it was. We started watching a new. She's moving. I see her moving.
I'm trying. I made it back to the computer, but my Zoom screen was hidden. You caught me. I thought I was being good. Guess what time it is? It's time to take my medicine. And I thought you waited until my footprints went into the bedroom and I got my medicine because I just have to break. It's like, oh, that's right. So I was being a good girl.
Whoa, my phone just told me
What did it tell you? As far as what we were watching, it was
No
either
SIM card found. Make sure SIM card is positioned correctly before inserting.
Oh, you fried
My
another one.
phone was just sitting here doing nothing.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Like
probably not.
How close to you though?
Oh, yeah, it's right here. But still, that's a weird one. I've never seen it do that before. It's done lots of stuff before, but just to say your SIM card is not placed correctly out of the blue, it wasn't like I pulled it out and fiddled with it and then put it back in and it said, okay, I could see it then. Yeah, it's not placed correctly. Okay. SIM card was put in there one time. And it's been in there ever since. It's been a while now. And all of a sudden, I didn't drop it on the ground. I didn't, go falling down a hill and throw it. And, it's sitting on my desk, not moving, not being touched. That's a weird one.
That's a weird one.
Okay. It's weird, wild stuff.
You sure Minion didn't lick it?
He may have.
He may have.
I
Oh,
like
we were
the way
going
you
to. We're
talk.
thinking about renaming him Eric Cartman. He is no longer a 12.5 pounder. He was up to 13 pounds today, yeah. And with his attitude,
Yeah,
it's a
he's
little bit.
getting there.
Is that even a
getting
Shih
there.
Tzu anymore? I think it has to qualify as a wholly different species of dog once they
I
get that
know
big.
at 13 pounds. I know.
No,
And
we
he
saw
tells-
a Shih Tzu at the. It didn't even look like a Shih Tzu. It looked
It
like
didn't.
a stuffed animal.
Oh,
Well,
is
it did have the
sausage.
hair though. It had a lot of hair, but it definitely was it was older though. You could tell by the way it didn't get around like men. It kind of wobbled, You could wiggle if you waddle, if you wanna while you walk away. That one? Yeah, it was definitely
Yeah.
waddling. Yeah.
That one was Dirty
Josh
Dancing.
knows.
Yeah.
Josh knows. I can see her doing that.
Up there at the rehearsal?
Yeah, that's like the only line in the movie that I know that I remember her saying. I know she said other ones. She was a bitch
Uh-huh.
that always got her way. But that's the only part.
Shout out to all the Dirty Dancing fans.
That's an oldie right there.
Yeah, it is.
No, Billingtano, I didn't drop it earlier. No, I'm bad about that usually. But it's funny, ever since I got the case on there, because I never had a case on my phone for the longest time. I put a case on this phone and I don't drop it.
Uh-huh. So
I just don't. Yeah, I haven't dropped it. Like maybe once I dropped it off my lap and it was fine, and that was months ago. But yeah, it's not like my other phones where they just magically always fell. This one I pay more attention to and it has the case on it. It's weird. Dang, a Jack Russell Chihuahua mix that was 25 pounds. She was supposed to be 12. Yeah, that's a sausage.
that seems like a high energy dog right there, even at 25 pounds. Jack Russell and a Chihuahua.
Yeah, my buddy had a Jack Russell. His name was Jetson. And he called him Papa. Man, that was probably the biggest case of Scrappy-Doo syndrome I've ever seen on any animal. Man, dog, whatever.
Did he love it when they called him Big Papa?
He did call him Big Papa too. Yeah. Yeah. He was a good boy though. But yeah, with all the other dogs in the house and stuff, he was very Scrappy-Doo syndrome. He ran the house. Except for the oldest dog, Tigger. She was blind, diabetic, only came out to eat, drink, pee and poop, and then went back in bed and lay down, and that was like it. But when she came out, like everybody got out of her way, even Judson. Everybody got out of Tigger's way. Everybody knew, you know.
Here comes Tigger. Might be her last trip.
Yep. Let's make it an easy one. Yeah, I used to give her insulin shots daily. And when she would get feisty, it'd be hilarious. Oh my goodness. When it was like treat time. Oh, she was there for treat time. She was like a puppy again. When she heard the geez, what kind of treats were we doing back then? I think I would slice up hot dogs. Because there's like 4 or 5 dogs there. And dog treats gets expensive when you got 4 or 5 of them. So we just buy packs of hot dogs and just cut them into little pieces. And everybody get a little piece of hot dog.
Shout out to Sea Lightning 300 miles. They're in
Nice.
Saskatchewan,
Love the
Canada.
name.
Yeah. We've got a friend, Alan Holman, who's from Saskatoon. Always looking for friends locally.
Oh yeah.
Big shout
Right.
out to Alan. He's going to be moving into his own place very, very soon. Weeks. I think
Nice.
just mere weeks away, I think, from moving.
You go, Alan. Line producer extraordinaire.
And Mr. One-to-One, I see that you says it's easy to see why I get blocked from chats, isn't it? Yeah, it's quite
Is that an
possible.
invitation?
Well, I think
I'm
you.
not really watching chat.
Well, you might have blocked him, so you might not be seeing any of his comments. He's convinced that you've blocked him, so
No, I've seen him in chat. I haven't looked in a while. No, I'm seeing him. Yeah. I don't know. Oh.
But that being said, if you ever have a question as to why someone may have blocked you, now you can see how it might be easy why people might block you in chat. That way, if you think Zack's blocked you, you don't have to ask why.
Yeah. Sure. Schmear.
I don't even remember the last time we blocked somebody on this channel. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Shout out Liz. The 1st of December for Alan. That's what I thought. I thought it was the very 1st.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for him, too. I would love to see his face on the morning of the 2nd. After he wakes up alone in his own apartment.
2160p, good lord.
I am sitting here in the background yawning while y'all are talking, and like I am still here. I know it's hard. Big Pine, she said she was sleepy. Yeah, I am sleepy. Don't know what the deal is. Did not sleep well last night, and I'm just fighting a tummy virus and antibiotics, and it just makes you tired and miserable. So I'm waiting for it to be over. But decided to share my misery with you. Hi, y'all. I'm miserable.
I'm sorry you're feeling bad. I'm glad you're getting over it.
I'm really not too bad right now. I just can't stay awake. Can't stay awake, so I'm terribly boring.
It's one of those kind of days. I think we're all a little low of energy at this point. All that magnetic residue from the week. Or was it?
Or was it an overcast, like just cloudy day with no energy? It just feels blah. But the weekend is coming. It's like technically already here, so I don't know what,
We got tired of your shit, Liz. That's why we blocked you.
You're constant bitching.
I dropped a video in chat. That's a cool one to watch, just rolling in the background. if you're doing something else, or it's just a nice, pretty piano music, and then it's got 8K pictures and videos of exotic animals. You know, really zoomed in on them and stuff like that. It's cool. I love stuff like that.
I had laying in bed today, I had my YouTube auto playing and the damnedest thing came up. It was the Vanderbilt ball of 1864, which was like the biggest ball of all time, somewhat like in this country, the big to-do or that. And thought it was going to be a historical thing, but it was YouTube style. So the person started it off saying that she was going to, first of all, judge the costumes before she looked at the characters. That way, knowing who they were wouldn't influence her. And so she had a video, one about the ball and then one about the costumes, that she did the costumes before doing the other one and then ran it backwards, just to be bizarre. But running it and then explaining why running it backwards, how she would have never given some of these people A's because the people sucked. But when she was grading the costumes of 1864, and keep in mind this was a complete costume ball, you had a woke new age person doing it, and she was rating them from like totally awesome to amazing to ballroom acceptable to you could do so much better to you suck. And she was putting people that she considered culturally appropriating costumes into you suck category. So like, for instance, back in 1864, you had the Egyptian exhibits and all this stuff going on. So a lot of people did Egyptian. And she was like, no, if she could tell that they were not Egyptian, and then people on the bubble, she was putting them in the middle on it. But she was actually looking at their costumes and saying if they culturally appropriated anything, they sucked. And it's like, you're missing the idea of a costume party or the same with like the Arabian Nights. Well, they don't look very Arabian to me. So unless somebody can prove this type of blood, then you suck. And then of course, people that wore furs, they totally sucked. But the men, the more bouncy the shirts got and the more tights they were in, and if they had swords especially, she was loving them. So it was like this very, very bizarre historical ball with a woke take that, I don't know, it confused me, made me more sleepy, more tired, and gave me a headache. But yeah, YouTube and autoplay, it's amazing. Bored you all to death, but any thoughts about like costumes and how they could be culturally appropriating when you're supposed to be dressing up as something you're not?
Makes it tough. I mean, that's the whole point of a costume.
Yeah, she did give an A to the woman that like dressed up as the Statue of Liberty, had the torch light up and had light bulbs on her dress light up and that. And she wasn't
Okay, so what
sure.
about people like me? Because I'm, Spanish, 50%.
But
Or
she
Mexican,
probably wouldn't be able to
whatever.
tell by looking at you.
Well,
So
yeah,
she
so you
that,
can't tell by looking at me, so
she was
my
trying to
skin
do that
color
with,
determines everything about me? Is
yes,
that
because she
what
was
she's
trying to,
saying?
yes,
That's
and she
racist.
was, I know. And I like on an Arabian outfit, she's like, you have to tell me where you're going with this and what doing this, because I'm not thinking that his skin tone, I'm not thinking that this person could be Arabian. She was literally taking it from that note. And then judging the costumes too. There were some costumes into it, but it was like the damnedest thing for somebody that was worried about getting to know their personalities affecting her. It's like, I think we're worried about your personality affecting it more than theirs. Just saying. Oh, I'm excited. You have chemicals on the screen.
So he's using borax, Epsom salt, and what was the other one?
I have Epsom salt. I think we have. I don't know if
No,
we've got straight borax.
no, in the video. What was the one that he used? Borax, I think it's 3 different ingredients.
There was salt in there. And something else they did, we had a comment on our video that we were talking over why they were doing it, and somebody wanted you to put a
Potassium
link to
chloride. Is
Yeah.
that? Yeah, so what he's doing, he mixes up these 3 things really good, puts it all in a coffee grinder and mixes up these 3 things. They're all 3 types of crystals: salts, borax. And what he does then, he gets he's just mixing it all up. Then he gets this copper, he's got a copper bottom. Let's see if he shows that copper bottom before he... No, I think he was messing with the copper bottom over here. How did he get the bottom on the copper, though? Because I see the copper tube right here, but that doesn't have a bottom on it. He might say, or I don't even know if it has one. Is that just the plate right there, or no, that doesn't look like the plate, does it? That looks like a cup, doesn't it? It's hard to tell, but I don't know. We'll see when he picks it up. But I'm pretty sure
He's calling it a copper pipe cap. If you look at the bottom on there and go back while you were talking about what is there, he's talking about a copper pipe cap on it.
Okay.
And
that makes sense.
This one we did talk over during our piezoelectric show, so we probably want to post this one on that show because we had people saying that they were looking to do this to make it, and we were talking over it.
So it's got copper, and then I forget what this was, magnesium, maybe, I think.
Magnesium sounds right on it.
And
yeah.
he puts all his crushed up crystal powder mixture he has all in here, and then this is just a hot plate, and he turns it on the very lowest setting. Then it turns into this goo right here. And he takes little things and gets all the air bubbles out of it. He's trying to make this as, solid as he can. He wants to get all air bubbles out, anything like that. He gives a couple of tricks on how to make it turn out better. And so he's cooling it off so he can then, the air bubbles stop from the bottom. The heat from the bottom is no longer causing bubbles to come up through the top. So now it's cooling all nice and evenly. And what this thing turns into is it doesn't put off much of a charge, but it's like a little battery almost. He's got a little motor here with a little fan blade on it. Hook up low potential down there, high potential up here, and bam. Now, like I said, it's not making a whole lot of power, but supposedly, and they were running live on a live stream for over 2 years. They've been going. So this thing has been running for over 2 years, this thing here. And he says as it's been doing it, this thing has been lifting out of here. So I'm still really not sure, maybe from it hardening and the pressure created being compacted in between these. I don't really know. Really neat though. This is one I really want to try for sure, Cam. Yeah, he got that from John Hutchinson.
Yep.
He said somebody else.
John
And
Bedini.
I agree, you should try that. Along with that, on the alum is another one of the ingredients we needed on this. I know because we were looking, and both Karen and I zoomed in on that because alum is really fun to run under a microscope and watch the crystals actually grow in front of your eyes. It's a fun one and an easy one to do. Easy melting temperature and that to work with. So
Bill Will in chat's thinking the powder, when it melts and then solidifies, is compressing those crystals, and that might be causing the charge.
Yeah.
That would be like a shit. What do they call it? The Cloudbusters.
I know. Yeah. Oh, man.
Or Organite.
Organite.
There you go.
That's the same thing. They use the
Yeah,
resin. The resin to compress the crystals. with the
I
organic
know what you
and
meant,
the
Bill.
inorganic materials in there, from what I remember. I still have yet to find some good organic. I'd like to buy some. I was going to make some once upon a time.
Yeah, it was too. And then I watched the video.
Yep. Oh, fun. I need
Yeah, we were
molds and
talking
shit.
about it last night about being able to make a bigger one and maybe it'd make more power, but they say they actually lose power trying to make them bigger in scale. It might be having to do with the heating, getting it all to, I'm sure you need it all to be at a liquid all at the same time. You don't want it to have big cracks in it. And, he said you don't want to touch it for at least like a half hour after it's done. I'd probably let it sit there for, the whole day just to make sure any micro cracks or anything like that. But you really don't want any cracks in it because then it gives it space. So it isn't having that compression all the time. Yeah, interesting stuff. I want to try it and just see what happens. And pretty sure that was Laser Saber's channel. Really cool channel. It's been at it for a long time. But yeah, that was a cool one.
And definitely the ingredients to do multiple different experiments at the same time. That one with a lot of others, which makes it even more, practical and fun.
It makes me wonder how small you can make them too. Find the perfect size. Because I mean, if really one that's the size of your pinky, like a thimble size one, would be just as efficient as the size that he made there,
But
then it'd be a lot easier to,
make
source
30 of them.
materials.
And
Yeah,
wire
and just
them
run
up
them
in a
in
series.
series.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could run a whole bunch of them all together. You could have a board with, 1,000 of them on there. That's like this big. You can get probably crazy amounts of voltage, but you could even get like, I think he said it was a thousandth of an amp, 0.001 amps. I saw someone had put in chat last night. So if you run them in series and you have enough of them, you could easily get an amp, depending on the size. And that's a good amount of power. 100, that's the thing. You gotta, when you're talking about electricity, 400,000 volts at 0 amps or 120 volts at 1 amp. I'll take the 400,000 all day long. Over 120 at 1 amp, that's probably going to kill you. It's going to come real close to killing you. At just that 120 volts with just 1 amp behind it, it's just 1 amp. But then 400,000 volts with, just static charge. Yeah, it'll wake you up, but it's not going to kill you. Yeah, we could make some serious energy with something like that, I
You
bet.
take care of Miss Tripp, and much love to the family and those kids, and
Yeah,
glad things are
much
going
love,
better for the family, and hopefully we'll see him soon.
Absolutely. Missing him.
And then I wonder if shapes will make a difference. Combining different shapes are going to make a difference. Stacking them, layering them, like Russian nesting
Pyramid.
dolls, pyramids. I think Billy Tano said he'd
Yeah,
seen some pyramid shapes.
That's what I've got.
Or
in front of me right
spherical
now.
shapes.
Let
I
me pull
mean,
it
a
up.
sphere
Here,
with the
let me
constant
turn off the
pressure from all
background.
sides could be good too.
Wow. Yeah, it could.
And then a sphere within a sphere within a sphere, or a pyramid within a sphere, or a sphere within a pyramid. I mean, again, it could be all kinds of different things that could, I don't know, enhance.
Yeah, Thunder saying just 0.01 amps can be fatal. Yeah, if you got enough voltage behind it. Yeah. Yeah, electricity's it's dangerous. That's why I like playing with static electricity.
This little
Little-
tiny one's the best one I've ever had. I can't make my background go away.
I kind of saw it when you had it in front of your shirt.
Why would it not let it go? Oh, there you go.
You're floating in the clouds. That's why.
I know. He floated. He floated. Did you see it was my birthday and he floated?
Oh, that's interesting. The low amount of hertz that we use is what also plays a role. Bill is saying 20,000 hertz, not so
Oh,
much.
it's not my background. It must be that thing you got us floating in. Anyway, there it is.
Yeah, they've really made it very a lot harder to understand than it really needs to be. And purposefully so, I believe. Because they don't want people knowing how to just make energy like this for low, like the guy said, that thing has been running for 2 years on a live stream.
From Billingtano in chat. Pro tip, don't mess around inside your tube amp if you don't know what you're doing. They can kill. Indeed. I watched my good buddy light himself up one time playing around with his amp inside it, thinking he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, the old big screen TVs. Some of the
Oh yeah,
capacitors in
fucking
there.
CRT will knock you down.
Yeah.
I watched one literally knock my manager across the freaking arcade. This is how you discharge one so you don't get hurt. Boom! I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Fuck that.
I
That
don't
would
think I
fucking
want to do
hurt.
that.
That's how you discharge it. I'm not gonna do that.
Ah,
Is there somebody else that could show me how to do
yes,
this,
there's
please?
other trainers available.
Wait. Can I see that one more time?
Let me get my phone out.
Right. Nice. This was before phones really got out there, right as they were kicking off. But yeah, it was pretty great.
Could you do that
Believe
one
me,
more
I was
time?
quite apprehensive every time I stepped up to discharge a CRT.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, people, I mean, it's horrible, but if they live, people getting shocked is just funny. Just their reactions. Oh, I went back and watched mine. It was probably like a month ago when I took what was that? 250,000 volts, just static, but it was like, it jumped 4 inches and reached out and grabbed me. I was the only thing that I gave it to grab onto. You saw it, Josh. It was like a 9-minute video, and 7 minutes of it is like me just sitting there cranking it. Oh, that one's close. That one's close, and then yeah, I can see myself just shimmy, just whoa, and then I just put it down instantly. Okay, I'm done with
You
that.
seen what Parker's been doing lately out in the yard with the freaking
Yeah,
Amplifiers? Yeah, he's going nuts. So
walking
hard.
around with the tube, lighting it up and shit. Like, what in the hell?
He can be so hard to watch. It's
It
interesting
is tough
as fuck,
sometimes.
but Jesus. Okay. Why is it muted?
yeah, that stuff is amazing what he's doing. I still wonder, what kind of power would we get out of the Earth's frequency? Instead of hooking up to Parker's resonant frequency that he's putting off, what if we hook up to the Earth's resonant frequency? What kind of power? I mean, it's going to be a much bigger antenna. We've talked about this, like 4,300 miles long coiled antenna. You're going to need a really big tower to do that. But Sears Tower's got over 24,000 miles in it alone. So, I mean, it's not out of bounds of human possibilities by any means. Yeah, that'd be fun. You ever seen those people that take the transformers out of the microwaves and try burning the electrical charge or like lightning into wood. I forget what they call it. You know, more people have died trying to recreate that than like so many other YouTube videos, something like that, that have to do with electricity. That's the one that people see on YouTube and try to do and end up killing themselves, messing with that magnetron. Yeah, those things are no joke. I'm still scared. I have my neighbor's old. I'm scared to take it apart still. Yeah, I've got, a lot of caution when it comes to when you have to plug stuff into the wall. I get a little more sketched out. Hell, that Wimhurst generator, that thing scares me. I got bit just a little bit the day that it was given to me. Just, it was early and I had just gotten it. And I was trying to set up and get everything all ready, and I'm sitting there cranking it, and I touched one and got shocked a little bit. And I was like, ooh, okay, there was still a charge in there. And not realizing it, I went and grabbed the other post, and there was still the Leyden jars is what had the charge. So it had a little bit of amperage behind it. It wasn't like just a static charge. This was stored charge. And that, yeah, I felt that one like go through me. Like, whoa, okay, I'm not gonna play with this anymore. Yeah, that thing it's got some oomph. And the neat part is that the Tesla coil, it burned my fingernail, like made it black with brown around the edge. I watched it do it, but it didn't hurt. And I was burning the hair on my knuckles and stuff. It sends out like this orange bolt of plasma when you get about, I don't know, a little bit closer than an inch maybe. And yeah, I did it on my nail and it burned a big black dot onto my nail. Not big, probably a millimeter, 2 millimeters across maybe. A millimeter. Yeah, and that was only running 24 volts through it, and it can go up to 50.
That's weird as fuck.
But it doesn't really hurt. Kind of got used to it. And some people take electricity one way, some people take. I've been shocked quite a bit, so it doesn't really like a shock, 100,000 volts, 75,000 volts, something like that. That's nothing. That's just messing around with the Van de Graaff. That's just you're just getting shocked over and over and over again. That's nothing. That's just playing around. So yeah, I did that for a couple years. I was playing with that thing like almost every single day. And I don't know, you think that has some kind of long-term effect, possibly?
Ask your SIM card.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You think there could be something to where electronics don't like to be touched by me too much? I don't know. I'm sure there's other people out there that have been shocked just as much as me, but we're a few and far between, I would say. Not a whole lot of people out there playing with this stuff, really. Even when I let people borrow it, they don't really play with it all that much. Yeah, I don't know. I've never really. I used to be the guy that would walk around at work because all the static electricity in the wintertime up there in a bucket factory with all that plastic and then inserting plastic inside of plastic with, getting them all to fit. A lot of static electricity. It didn't take, and I'm standing on an insulated mat. So I was just gathering static electricity. God, I wish I knew then. Or I wish, yeah, I would have known then what I know now. Man, I could have had some fun. But yeah, I used to shock my team leader all the time before I took over that crew. She'd just walk by and I'd strut into the side of the neck, or yeah, she'd get so pissed.
I keep picturing Big Trouble in Little China. Standing up on his mat.
I know when he's asked him, I've never seen magic, and he's like, that was nothing. Man, I want to learn how to do that. Let's see, what would you do? Would you freak out, or would you be like, teach me?
Yep.
Yep.
Sounds about right. I think you nailed exactly what I would do.
What about you, Walter? If you saw someone do something crazy, would you like just get up and leave?
I
Or
mean,
would you be
you'd
like,
have to really define
show me
crazy.
how to do that?
I've seen some pretty crazy shit.
That's what I'm saying. But something like, I'll give you an example. When I was out there in the desert, I was in Parker. My buddy that I had met in New Mexico, he was out in Arizona now since it had cooled off a little bit, and he came out there, and I met him. It was nighttime. He showed up at like 11 o'clock. I had the fire going and everything. Came, sat down. We had a couple beers and whatnot. I went and took a piss. I come back, and he's chanting over the fire, and all of a sudden the fire turns like blue and green, right? And he was just fucking with me. It's shit that you could buy at Walmart.
You throw it in the fire, right?
Throw it in there. And I'd never seen anything like that before. But being me, I didn't get up and go into my tent or get into my car and pack up and leave. I was like, dude, teach me how to do that. What are you saying? How do I do that? You know, that was my first instinct, was I want to know how to do that. Show me. And he told me, I'm just fucking with you. After a couple minutes, he let me sit there and say some chant. I even looked up the chant. It sounded like Spanish, some kind of Spanish, like just a couple words he kept saying. But I went and looked it up. It wasn't even words. It was, yeah, I forget what it was. But yeah, he threw, what was it, magnesium, and I don't know, there's like little powder you can buy at the store.
There's a list of common chemicals too. I saw somewhere on the internet saying, here's what you need to change it to this particular color. It's done with this chemical, and you can find it in abundance in this particular product. I forget what it was though.
But yeah, I definitely wanted to know how.
I would definitely want to know how. Yeah. Now, I don't know. It's one of those things, you know. It'd be.
Depending on who it's coming from, too, right?
Yeah, that was exactly, because you also met some other folks on your walkabout.
I would have got up and just left.
You got the fuck
I'd have
out.
been
Right?
like, hold
So,
on, well, Hank looks like he's got to go to the bathroom or something. I would have been,
I'm gonna take him in the truck, and I'm gonna grab the tent while we're going. So
actually, no, fuck the tent.
Right, I can get another.
I can get another tent.
No wonder you see so many satellite dishes. Jesus.
Yeah, no, there were a couple people I met out there that if I would have saw them do something. Remember the couple I met the very first like weekend? I was ready to turn around and go back.
I know. Is that her to go home? Mom, me, I made a mistake.
The ones that tried to go do something bad to you, aren't they?
They were definitely a little off.
Yeah, they invited me out. They wanted to show me runes that they had made out in the woods or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Hey,
I was like,
I just made some ruins. You want to go see the ruins I made? Ancient ruins. I just made them.
no, like a rune, like a
rune
stone.
R-U-N-E. Gotcha.
R-U-N-E. Yeah.
That makes more sense.
And they were telling me how they fought off demons and all this stuff. And as we're walking out there, right? Like, oh, because at first it was, hey, you got to come see this neat thing that we made out there while we were camping. You know, I was thinking like art. something like that. Then they're talking about sigils and runes and how they fight demons and this and that. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go back and start getting dinner ready before it gets dark. So I made something up.
It's because you're a
But yeah,
demon.
that little voice in my head was like, dude, all right, they're talking about killing fucking demons. These people are, definitely not, they could easily get lost and just stick their thumb out or jump on a train or they were talking about how she was getting ready to do her first train ride, but he had been on bunches and bunches. He had, homemade tattoos all over him. And yeah, it was weird. Very weird. I was like, man, I hope I don't run into this a lot. But I didn't. One more. Tina. You guys remember Tina?
Oh, yeah.
Woof.
We do.
Yeah, I felt bad for her.
Yeah.
Military. And that voice of God technology, I think they were using that on her. And yeah, she'd just start blaring her radio for like hours, sitting in her car, radio turned all the way up, just sitting there, laying there with her eyes closed. Like, how do you do that? Poor thing. Yeah, have your wits about you when you're out there on walkabout, that's for sure.
Never know when you run into a demon hunting hobo. Yep.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I was playing
actually,
catch up in chat, reading the little comment that Sea Lightning 300 miles put about 2 years ago. 4 of us were together. I told them Venus will turn on in a few minutes after sunset. Went out, watched it turn on, and 20 minutes later, Jupiter turned on, and 20 minutes later, Saturn. That's cool.
wow.
I'm fucking with people.
Yeah, didn't I actually send you guys a picture of them?
I think I know she was on it with us, and then I have some pictures of
I
people that I
made
didn't know who were.
sure.
So,
Yeah, I made sure that I took a picture of them and sent it to you guys, just in case.
just in case.
Yeah, but she did come on, didn't she, and talk?
Yeah, she got on for a while.
Yeah, those were wild times. It was cloudy all day today.
With the shotgun. I'll see that Valentino. Hey, if you're a fan, Valentino, they're putting out a huge collection of the Grindhouse, like with everything, including all those great non-movies that all eventually became movie trailers, like Machete and Hobo with a shotgun. They're actually making, Eli Roth is making Thanksgiving, or it may be coming out already, that fucking fake trailer in that one. They've all just about been made into real movies. It's pretty nuts.
I haven't heard that in a while, that name, Machete. I never saw any of those movies. The only thing, like, I played, he was in a Call of Duty back in the day. Geez, that seems like 2 lifetimes ago now. Getting old is weird. But yeah, my Call of Duty zombie days. He was like you could either be him, I think, or he was one of the bad, like the bosses or something like that when they were just getting into bosses. Oh, sorry, plane. You guys hear that?
Huh?
No?
Nope.
The story. No, I don't hear it.
Okay.
Don't hear a thing.
Some of that voice to Skulltech.
All right.
Yeah. No, it was a plane going by. I just didn't know if you guys. It was loud.
Uh-huh. They're just panning left or right. Watch this.
Hmm. Hobo with a shotgun.
I was gonna pan
Yeah,
mine.
why can't I get this on there? Sorry, I'm trying to get a story to go to the Zoom call and it won't go through.
You doing anything for Turkey Day next week?
Who?
Either of you?
I mean, we always do the family gathering, and then seems like one of the nieces has a friend who's not like in good with their family, and they don't have people to do the holidays with, so they're going to join us. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, it's going to be the usual stuff we shouldn't, and try to stay out of the room with the game going. That's what I can.
You don't want to watch the sports ball game?
No, I can't make myself do it any longer. It hurts my insides.
It's a lot sillier than it used to be. I'll say that for sure. I'll every once in a while go back and watch some old Barry Sander highlights or something like that.
Like, I'd just like to see even an old VHS tape. Give me 2 hours of straight Monday Night Football television programming from 1974, and let's compare it to the way it looks right fucking now. I bet it'd be obnoxious. Like, I want the sports
Like watching
commentators,
Atari.
all the fucking commercials, all that shit. I want to see it all.
God, yeah, how different it would be.
The fans in the stands. What a
People
fucking world.
smoking on commercials, doctors smoking on commercials,
Yeah, getting
telling
old
you
this
their
week.
favorite brand while they're helping a patient. Yeah, Billingtano. He's the only one I really go back and watch. And then I'll watch Larry Bird highlights. I love watching people tell not even so much as highlights, but people telling stories to NBA players of that time. Just how much trash that dude used to talk for being, dude, he was a white guy and he was not like he was out of shape. Everybody he wasn't the fastest, he couldn't jump the highest, but he was just so smart. His court IQ was off the chart. One of the, only player in the last so many years to win MVP 3 years in a row. And that was with Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, Patrick Ewing, all these famous NBA All-Stars of all time were in the league at that same time. And he won 3 MVPs in a row. That's unheard of. That doesn't happen. And the guy, his last 2 years, there was one season he played only like 12 games. And he had all those back surgeries and yeah, he couldn't sit down. Like to this day, he still can't sit down in a chair for very long. He has to lay down on his stomach. His back is all messed up. Yeah, that dude was. And I had a chance to meet the guy. And my mom made me finish my dinner. Oh, I was so pissed. That was like the first time I was legitimately mad at my mom. I'm like 9, 10 years old. She didn't like Larry Bird. She didn't like the Boston Celtics. They were dirty. They were just dirty. Blah, blah, blah. She couldn't stand Bird. Blah, 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 blah. The guy's like one of the NBA all-time greats of all time. And I had a chance to just go shake his hand and tell him, hey, I'm a big fan, blah, 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 whatever. A kid down the street was his nephew, his Larry Bird's sister's son. Had the Boston Celtics backboard. His name was John Walters. I can still see his house. The old Boston Celtics backboard. Man. My neighbor came running in the house. No knocking, no nothing. Zack, come on, Larry Bird's out there. You gotta come right now. He's leaving. He's getting ready to go. I'm going back down there right now. We're shooting hoops. I could have shot freaking hoops with Larry Bird. Mom. Oh.
Well, you know, to his back mess.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that was one of those times I was upset with my mom. But we were from the Chicagoland area, and she was a Bulls fan, right? Blah 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 blah. Had to finish. That's the first time I ate green beans with ferocity. Probably the only time.
By handfuls.
Yeah, just. Oh, I was so mad. Good times.
For all.
But yeah, it's about the only kind of sports I can watch. I could tell you some NBA players, maybe 5, 10 of them tops. Not like back in the day where I could have told you 10 Bulls players, you know, out of the 12 that were sitting there or whatever. No, definitely not the same. I was the same with baseball back in the day. I still got a giant box of baseball, basketball, football cards from the 80s, early 90s. A big box. An almost complete set of the 86 top set. I think all those steroid guys, Mark McGuire was in there. I think that was one of Sosa's first years. Barry Bonds was pretty young back then. He was real skinny. 4 helmet sizes smaller than he finished up with. Yeah, all that steroid stuff. I guess I heard baseball cards were coming back around though again. They were starting to sell again.
Really?
I had heard, yeah.
For anything collectible to come back would be pretty amazing at this point.
Yeah, those old timers
ruined all of it.
Yeah.
IRM media is getting popular. Now you can go around telling people that you heard that IRM media is getting popular. You know who told you that baseball cards are being sold again? The baseball card companies.
IRM media.
Tops. Upper Deck.
People that need them to become popular again.
The ones that'll make money off them being popular again.
Mm-hmm.
I constantly see like sports cards and memorabilia when we go do the garage sales or the estate sales or whatever. And every now and again, I'll come across a box of comic books, and if there's something I want to read in there that I haven't read in forever, I might grab one. But yeah, it's just not worth even trying to attempt. You have to get everything graded, and by the time you pay all that money, you're out a good chunk, man. You know?
Yeah.
Well, do you remember? I didn't do baseball cards, but you remember, you old enough because it would have been on the thing, wacky packages.
Oh yeah, the
like,
wacky packages.
Yeah,
I had a bunch of those, man. I actually liked those better than the garbage pail
baseball
kids.
Cards. Yeah,
than the garbage pail kids. Yeah, I loved those. They were just so great. It kind of reminds, because there was always stuff like that in Mad magazine, Crack, growing up that plays on on advertising, so that stuff always. I hated advertising, so to see them take the shit with it, that's perfect for me.
I wonder what AI would do with Garbage Pail Kids.
Nightmare fuel, I would guess.
Yeah.
Hello,
You should
Night
put
Cafe.
Gwar into AI. See what it pops out with. Gwar and Mr. Crinkle unite. Been watching some Primus
I
videos lately.
I went and watched a few the other day after you talked about it. I wonder if Alex ever went and checked it out. I was stunned he didn't know Primus. Most musicians are pretty aware of that nut job and his guitar. I mean, his bass playing. He's just out there, extremely beyond out there.
Yeah, like bass players that have put their own like stamp on music, at least in my era that I know of. It's like John Entwistle from The Who.
Oh yeah.
He was one of them. Flea from the Chili Peppers. And then Claypool from well, he was there before Flea, really.
Well, mine were always like, I loved Jaco Pastorius growing up. That dude was out there. If you ever checked out his bass work, go check it out. And then I got into Rush really early. And again, dude, Geddy Lee, holy shit. And then from there, it was just, you know, good guys in some bands. I mean, Steve Harris was good for the kind of music Maiden played, but it just wasn't always my cup of tea. His bass was a lot of just you know, it wasn't for me. And then suddenly, like you said, here come Primus out of nowhere, and it was like, what in the hell is Claypool doing? I had the Sailing the Sea of Cheese CD and bring it to people, and they would be like, what in the fuck are we listening to? They had no clue. Or even,
you know how gifted you have to
Frizzle
be?
Fry. I had Frizzle Fry in college, and like, Primus sucks. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? Nobody understood it.
To take notes that are out of harmony just completely and turn it into music still. I mean, the best example is the very beginning of South Park. Like those are not tones that you would normally hear like in a rhythm, you know? But he takes these weird noises and can still turn it into like a type of music. Yeah, just super talented. Then guitarist. Don't get Walter started on guitarist.
Oh God, don't, please. Don't. Do not do it.
What about you,
There's
Cami?
another bass player out there who a lot of people missed in the 80s because he got sucked into this real wimpy band. But dude, seriously, if you never checked out Billy Sheehan, your brain would melt. Like he was in the band Mr. Big, but before that he was just on his own as a bass band thing, and he had an album that was just phenomenal with him playing all the basic leads on the bass, and yeah, it was pretty nuts. Let me go find some good Billy Sheehan for you.
Deep inside, I hope you feel it too. Remember that one? Look at Josh getting all sentimental-eyed. He sang that to somebody at one point.
Not this guy.
Lip sync then?
Nope, I don't even think so. I think he's a little older.
Wasn't that in a movie? Was that a Robin Hood movie too?
Sorry,
Robin Hood?
my ear got full of
No.
Sheehan notes. I was trying to send the video and it started playing. What was the question? What movie?
what movie was Mr. Big? I'm the one who wants to be with you, or whatever the name of that song is.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't a huge Mr. Big fan. That's where I was going with
That's like
that.
that's the only song I think I know by them.
It was a waste of Gilbert and Sheehan to me to make those wimpy pop songs that had no bass or guitar. And I was like, why have you got the two baddest musicians in the world and not using them? It's so frustrating. But as this solo I'm about to share with you shows in concert, they were like, yeah, this is what we do. This is what we do. Y'all can dig this music we're doing, and it's all wimpy for y'all, but this is what we do. What? Winery Dogs. Yeah. Fucking A. Billantano knows some good stuff. Did I just see that what's his name? My brain is broken today. Let me go see.
What would you think if I sang out of tune?
So yeah, it is true. That's what I'm saying. Portnoy is back with theater now, Dream Theater.
I don't know.
We're thrilled to announce the return of drummer Mike Portnoy to Dream Theater, which is nuts because they were like at each other's throat when he left and stuff. Anyway, another band whose musicians I love, but the songs they put out, I just couldn't get there. It was just too much on that singer's part that was just not getting there for me. Anyway.
Didn't that suck? When you want to listen to it because they're so talented, but you just can't stand one part. Like when you can't stand the
that's
singer.
like going back and trying to see what it was about Creed that everybody got into, because I didn't get into March of Money until Alter Bridge. I wasn't a Creed fan. They were a metal band, quote unquote, that my girlfriend at the time would listen to, and that was about all I could say. I didn't enjoy it. It was just a little heavier than most of the stuff she wanted to hear, so it was okay. But going back, I can't get through that dude's marble mouth fast long enough to understand the songwriting and the whatever that's going on. It just
yeah, he was the Eddie Vedder wannabe. Sounded like to me. You had a lot of those come out in the late 90s. People who just mumbled. And I'm sure Eddie got it from someone else. I don't know. Who would you give the best vocal / guitar to that could do them both at the same time? Not
Miles
an
Kennedy.
Easy thing to do.
Yeah, Miles Kennedy, dude. There's no doubt. Like, there's a video of him before he was even famous, before he was even known as like in the band Mayfield 4, way before Alter Bridge. And it was a guitar contest, and he hops up there and he's blowing the guitar away while he's singing the song at the same time. And he was like a kid, like he was 15 or shit. It was like nuts how young he was. The complicated riffs that they play while he's singing the most phenomenal vocals, amazing. Like, go watch this one little song called Isolation, and then that dude is a phenomenal guitar vocalist. Yeah, these are nuts, Josh. I've never seen these. I've only seen the Dragon variety of them. Those would be cool to see. That's like Photoshop. That ain't real.
Shrink down and ride one like a dragon. That'd be awesome.
That one dude's hardcore there on the right. That Spiny Flower one.
Come at me, bro.
Right?
Yeah, one of my favorite, Bradley, lead singer of Sublime. Forgetting his last name.
Oh, yeah.
I feel horrible.
Yeah, he handled it.
He had some pipes, and that guy could jam a guitar. Then, of course, Prince. I never knew Prince could jam a guitar so well. I really didn't hear it in his. It wasn't like focused on so much in his music. like after I learned about it, I could go back to his songs and then I heard it. But not until then did I really hear it. You know, the song drew my attention to his vocals and all the synthetics that were going on in the background and stuff. It really wasn't like guitar solos that were like blowing out all the other instruments. It all melded together really well. So I never really knew Prince was all that until, geez, way later. After he had passed, really. I didn't know could shred a guitar like that. And then, I mean, like Jimmy, he sang in his own way, but there's only a few songs I thought that I would say that was like beautiful. You know, his voice where he actually sang and wasn't just talking in rhythm, kind of. And some castles made of sand return to the sea.
All right, so I'm gonna share this video with you there, Zach, and everybody in chat. Not only does this show him playing this badass riff, singing over it, but before the song actually starts, Mark's giving him shit about, hey, play some jazz guitar. This dude's like all over the place. He is a better guitarist than Mark Tremonti. He just doesn't show that out much because, you know, he's the lead singer and Mark's the guitarist. Anyway, hang on.
Stops copies me.
Stop copies me.
Dude, that's gotta piss off the lead guitarist when he knows
The
lead singer
is better than he is.
Is better than he is.
Oh, he'll tell you in any interview. Mark will tell you that. Oh yeah, Miles blows me away. He knows theory. He knows jazz. He knows, you know, all this stuff that I have no clue about. I dropped both of them in the chat for Zoom for you to check out when you have some time, Zach.
Cool. Yeah, my one buddy.
Wish we could play
Berkeley,
them, but yeah, we would definitely get struck down. Struck down.
He had to take all that stuff. It was like 4 hours of the theory of learning this type of music, and then 4 hours of actually practicing playing that type of music, and then at least 4 hours of practice a day on your own time. That was like his life for I think it was 3 years or something like that. He was there, and he got his master's in guitar and audio, whatever, blah blah blah. Became a producer, moved out to LA, stayed there for about 3 months, and then came back. Became an iron worker, raced motorcycles with his dad. Yeah, something happened out there, something weird. I could tell. I was just asking him. It was like his dream forever, you know, forever. He'd been working to produce music and do something in the music industry. And yeah, his excuse was, yeah, it's just expensive out there. I was like, well, yeah, but you were a music producer in LA. I'm sure you're getting paid. And yeah, I could just tell that he saw something or was told something or shown something that just rubbed him really bad, enough for him to be like, fuck this, I'm out. And just packed up and moved everything back home. Yeah.
Oh wow, I forgot about that. Hang on, let me drop this for you too. I just when I went to look up the isolation song, there's a band out there called Plush, all female, phenomenal, amazing group. They have some great original tunes. They kind of hit YouTube as a cover band, and one of the ones they did is Isolation. And while Miles does stop and start the riff while he's singing, because you know he's entertaining the crowd, it's not all straight through like I thought it was. I've seen him play it all straight through on different videos, but the one I shared, he didn't. On the Isolation cover that Mariah, damn it, I dropped it. Where did I drop it? Anyway, her name is Mariah Formica. Formica is what it looks like to me. And dude, she is a badass vocalist, and she never stops. She plays the riff the whole way through the song while she's singing, which to me is phenomenal. It's just I can't play the riff. That's why I'm so blown away. I've been working on this riff about 3 months now, and it has got some weird little off time stops and start. It's weird. It's a very off time riff, and for her to play it and sing over it, oh yeah, she's badass. Highly recommend digging deep into Plush. They are a phenomenal band.
I gotta give him props. Jerry Garcia. Dude had some pipes, even though he was a Tavistock fuckhead. He could sing. He had a beautiful voice. And the dude could jam a guitar. I remember my cousin. She came back from, geez, what was it? Like 8 weeks. Dropped off her 2-year-old to my aunt's house and said, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to see a show. And 8 weeks later, it's calling from like somewhere out in Oregon saying I'm out of money and I need a bus ticket home. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's when she came back and told me she saw the music notes coming out of Jerry's guitar and this and that and blah, 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 blah. That's when I checked out the Grateful Dead. And yeah, the guy could play a guitar pretty good, soloing and stuff. And then, yeah, he had some pipes. I'll give it to him. There's just that whole persona around the Grateful Dead. You know what I mean?
I do. I was just,
Dirty
it was
hippies.
something like growing up where when I grew up, where I grew up, that I would have been exposed enough to get into them. I missed it. By the time I got to college and everybody was all into it, I had missed that boat and just couldn't get there. I would go, yeah, it's cool music, but it wasn't that whole, like, I wouldn't be following them across the country and all that like people were doing. I'm like, I don't get that. It's a band, they're good, but I wasn't like head over like most people got into it.
And
but
then,
yeah, in college you couldn't get away from the Dead. It was every dorm had it blaring at one end of the hall or the other.
And then it turned into Fish.
And now, yeah, that was literally as Fish started. In fact, remember I tell you I got that the first EP that Pearl Jam put out at that radio station giveaway at the comedy show and all that. I got Fish's debut as that same thing, as because I was constantly calling in and winning tickets at the station. I was always up late and listening, so I always was getting stuff. And I knew the guys. When I would go hang out up there, we'd hang out, and they always was like, check this band out, check that band out. And that was one I got. It was Fish early on. And it was like, well, this is just the Grateful Dead. Somebody's trying to be, it's exactly what I thought when I heard them.
Yeah, I saw them twice in the same, like, within 3 days.
Something else with another group. Damn it, what was that little thing? It was like a little temporary. They did a little side project. Trey and Stasio. I can't remember how to say his name. The guitarist from Fish. I mean, he's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, they were amazing. Aren't two of them brothers or something like that as well? I forget.
I can't remember.
I never really got into them. I went with some girl. She was like, "Hey, will you come to me with the Fish to the Fish concerts and blah 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 blah." Yeah, sure, why not? It was fun.
Oysterhead, that was it. That was the one. Yeah, go check out Oysterhead back in the day. That was hang on. Let me see who else. It seems like it was the guy from Crimson. Let me see.
Billy Tano says there was a Dead concert in Chicago one time. I was there. Dirty hippies everywhere around the city. That was probably 1995, Billingtano. If you were in the city then, I was there the night after Pearl Jam played the next night, and they had to put this big metal thing, like metal floor, over the field because the Grateful Dead fans had torn up all the sod and were just throwing it everywhere.
All right. I knew I was thinking this in my back of my mind, but I was like, well, that can't be right. That can't be right. It is correct. Oysterhead was Trey Anastasio from Fish, Stuart Copeland on drums from The Police, and Les Claypool on the bass. Go check it out. Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, you'll trip on it, man.
Wow.
Off topic, but special happy birthday shout out to Ted Summer. Hoping
Absolutely. What's up,
birthday,
Ted?
Ted.
Happy birthday, brother. I'm not even back in chat, so I've
Much
missed
love,
everybody.
brother.
But definitely
Yeah, I
lots of
haven't seen him
love.
in. I have
Oh,
not
they're
seen
not
him
in.
in
Okay. I thought
chat,
you'd
but
seen
I'm
him pop
hoping they're
in.
having. Nope, I'm just
I hope
thinking
they're
about him
having a
tonight.
blast. Oh yeah, absolutely. Send them our love when you see them.
Definitely, Ted is the most awesomeness. He is such a nice guy. So I'm hoping they are having like a wonderful time tonight. Ted, if y'all remember, helped us. He came out and also helped us move here and drove the Camry here for us. So it was really nice.
Mhm.
Really a special guy.
Well, Billington, then it wasn't the Grateful Dead. If it was in the tens, I mean, once Jerry died, I don't think they ever really. They may have. I really didn't keep up, but I know they stopped calling themselves the Grateful Dead. There were, what's it, Phil and Friends, and then I saw them in '97 for their festival, and they were called the Rest of Us that year. But they'd been through a few different names. I didn't know they started. Yeah, I didn't think they called themselves the Grateful Dead anymore. It's kind of like Led Zeppelin. When I saw the remaining members of them, they weren't Led Zeppelin anymore. They were Page and Plant.
Right. I'm pretty sure Boston Ray was talking about the dead having been near him not too long ago. You know,
So
what's left
they're
of the dead. Yeah, they're still
are they
out there.
calling themselves the Grateful Dead though?
Yeah, I'm
Like,
pretty sure they still ain't Bob still in
wow.
there? Bob Weir, I'm pretty sure. Hang on a second.
Yeah, it was like a tribute. Okay, with the rest of the band. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen quite a few of those. Now, like the Allman Brothers, when I saw them, they still called themselves the Allman Brothers, even though, two of the members of the original band were gone. They died. Or Leonard Skinner going around. Because who was it? Was it the drummer that survived the plane crash of Leonard Skinner?
I got sidetracked. Michelle came and asked me something. What happened?
Was it the drummer in Leonard Skinner's plane crash that survived? Or the bass player? I forget. I know one of them survived. And then
Let me see.
and then there was Leonard Skinner
I
again,
think it
and
was
they
just uh
started going on tour as Leonard Skinner again. But yeah, I had just heard when that plane crashed, the one survivor in the band that survived walked to a farmer's house nearby and got shot
no,
by the
that is
farmer.
absolutely not true.
No?
No.
Are you sure? Let me go find that article again.
On that note, gentlemen, because I cannot keep my eyes open and I am contributing nothing to this other than being scared you're going to call on me like you almost did, Zack. And it's like, oh no, my brain is not working. I'm going to bid you all good night and listen in from the distance. But happy Friday, y'all. And thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Enjoy your weekend, Cami. Feel better.
Okay,
Love
this is
you.
from Forbes. Right
Go
after
ahead.
the crash, Pyle, whose injuries included broken ribs, helped pull one victim out of the wreckage, then went for help. He headed for a farmhouse he spotted in the distance. He would end up getting shot along the way. Leonard Skinner drummer Artemis Pyle honoring the legacy. Managed to stumble several hundred yards through a creek and field to a farmhouse to get help. The appearance of Pyle alarmed the 21-year-old farmer Johnny Moat, who mistook him for an escaped convict and fired a warning shot over Pyle's head.
There you go.
That was Wikipedia. And then according to, what is this? WPTV, broke several ribs, managed to stumble through. Rescuers would crash site, but not before being shot. So there's like, Wikipedia said he wasn't.
But if you keep going on
Other
Wikipedia,
people-
he even said later that he was joking about getting hit in the shoulder, but sometimes he said he did get shot, other times he didn't, apparently.
So it's him telling stories.
Possibly. Well, I worked with a guy in, it was the first job I ever worked out of high school for Merco Drilling, and I was running a rig, and I think that was in Jay, Florida, and the guy that was the, what was Buck? He wasn't a driller. What was he? I guess he was the engine guy, the mud man. I can't remember what his job was even. But anyway, because he lived close to where I lived in Mississippi, I would ride with him. And he told me a story of being a part of all that. Like the farm that they went to was his family. That's part of his family. And they came and got everybody, including him. And he was out at the site trying to help people that night. Now, I took that with a grain of salt, but he did live right there in that part of Mississippi, without a doubt, because I rode with him to his place out there, and he had some pretty country. He took me out bow hunting one time out there. It was freaking great. He had some crazy skills at bow hunting.
They had just performed in Greenville, South Carolina. I'm sorry, I'm just seeing.
I know I'm reading now too when you stop. Ah.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if it says something about being shot in this one, because it's like an actual interview. I'm not really reading it though. I'm like skimming over it, looking for the word shot.
Right.
Beautiful job.
Anyway, it's outside. It's over there outside of Macomb. I know that because that's basically, well, he really didn't live in Macomb either. Buck didn't. It was more towards Galesburg, I guess. I didn't know that was the name of it, though. For some reason, that's not what I remember him calling it. Let me see. Let me look on the map, see what's close to it that he would have called it. Oh, what? Got it. We're getting a summary. Nice.
Sorry, just curious to see what it was going to say.
Am I like,
Yeah.
no, really? Okay. I am like kind of freaking out a little bit. Go look at a map search for Galesburg, Mississippi. And then as you scroll out, just tell me if anything catches your eye unusual about the surroundings. I'm not going to say a word. I just want to see if it pops out like it did to me. Dude, what the fuck? What the fuck? This is pretty nuts.
Well, the summary.
No, what you see, like when you go and like literally get on the map at Galesburg and start scrolling back out, there are at least 30 to 50 cemeteries, like right there.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, there were some big ones on the highways going through
I gotta share. This is just too crazy.
Virginia, West Virginia, the tip right there, all that stuff. Kentucky right there, Eastern Kentucky, huge, giant cemeteries,
So just
all
this
with
view, there's
flowers
already a
on
lot.
every
of-
one.
right? There's already a lot just here. It's like, wow, that's a lot of cemeteries right around that area. But as you keep going out, dude, that's just like, what? 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 And I don't have like cemeteries highlighted in my search or anything. There's just a whole fucking shit ton of them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, very crazy. You know,
The haunting of
Well, shit.
Galesburg.
right. There are, I mean,
Liz
you
just
know,
discovered her eyes were closed and she's not sure how long.
we understand. That's what Cami was doing. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, my eyes.
That's how these shows
Starting
go.
We
feel
definitely
that
been
way.
here a while. It's already 8 o'clock. We've been yammering about absolutely nothing. Probably long enough.
Yeah, probably.
So we'll have to rewind for Liz. Okay.
Talk about. We could do that. I could do a big one too. That was just my little one.
Wonder what Stephen Hawking sounds like backwards.
Probably a lot like he does forward.
English.
Yeah. English. Oh. Love y'all.
Yeah, love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us this long,
for
putting up with our
hanging out.
nonsense.
It was fun as we were just basically hanging out with each other. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Thank you so much.
Group therapy.
Yeah.
That's it.
It helps.
All right, guys, then enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will see you on Monday morning over there on freeworld.fm for the Ironworks, 4 a.m. Central to 6 a.m. And until then, be good, be well. Remember that we love you. And never, ever forget